Hey folks, it's going to be Byun Gumiho now in a TVT best of 3 from the round of 8 of EPT Korea 122. It's Byun's birthday, so he wanted to make sure he could fund his Rager, and I would argue that the games are actually Ragers because it's a fantastic TVT. Again, just enjoy it. But before we get into that, of course, reminder, I upload one video in 4K every single day of the week, and I also stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/Beowulf. Every Monday for EPT NA, every Saturday EPT Korea, and other things as they happen. So make sure to go check that out as well. But for now, it's Byun Gumiho. Enjoy it. In the bottom left, in the blue for the Shopify Rebellion, give it up. His name is Byun. In the upper right for PSISTORM, Gaby's looking good. Let's see how deep he goes. He is Gumiho. Man, what I love, I did, those of you may or may not be aware, but you probably are if you're on this channel, I did the King of Battle semis and finals with Ro8 last weekend. And the semis were great. The finals were great for a different reason, and that it was really cool to see the mind games and the high-level ZVZ, but in terms of it being a really compelling series, I mean, it was a 4-0. Rainer had some incredible comebacks, though. Point being, I did that with Ro8. And in high-level broadcast, or like in big semis, finals, whatever, they generally have the play-by-play or whoever is who's the more hype, whatever, however you want to do the delineation, because there's not a strict color and play-by-play delineation in StarCraft 2 and StarCraft 2 broadcasting. But generally, you would have a Maynard or a Tasteless, or not to put myself on that level of those two people, but myself, someone of that level, do the intros because it's just smoother. It makes sense. It lets you do the intros, and then it lets the color player, the color guy, immediately go, or color woman, immediately go into whatever they want to talk about for the game. So it works out really well. It's smoother. It's nice. I mean, if you're smaller stuff, I mean, it's whatever. You split the work. So I do that. And I do it how I would normally do it, like I did right there. And immediately Twitch chat just starts doing, stop trying to be tasteless. Stop introing whatever, I'm like, I'm not. This is just who I am. I'm just me, little old me. Hell yes, Crash Fist Fight. Still going strong? Well, the stream went down. I turned the stream off after we did the qualifiers because I didn't have anything to do. I mean, I guess I could have played ladder, but I preferred to eat dinner. Dinner is important, and I read a book. Funnily enough, I think, well, anything important, yes. 2 Reapers to 1, so Gumiho's not really going to do all that much with this. What's our opener? Same thing. Okay. Although Starport's going to be much faster here for Byun, as Gumiho just commits to Cyclones early, a little bit tech heavier of an opening before getting that Starport. It's where you spend your gas, right? But for now, I mean, these are pretty equivalent. Byun's going to have access to drop tech, maybe a little earlier. Ravens early is always going to be really nice, and of course, that's the first thing you build with your Starport. But really nothing that is truly impacting this game all that much. Different ways, different approaches to the same end goal. But anyways, what I was, I read a book, and wow, amazing. Casters read. Who knew? But one thing I find, and this is something that you talk to different casters, or you hear different casters talk on podcasts or whatever, and it's kind of a mixed bag. But Maynard, for example, and I think Medic was talking about in the Caster Calls podcast, Zombie Grub, in the most recent episode, where I agree with this, where I find if I keep myself pretty well read, and specifically reading things that are highly regarded for their literacy, not, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out a good example that doesn't make people hate me, but I don't know. Not like it was just some random YA novel. Sure, I guess. But something, say the like a Patrick Rothfuss book or something that is just the lyricism to the prose is there. I find it makes me cast better because there's more words in my head, more phrases that I can look to use and riff off of, and it just adds variety. And as we all know, variety is the spice of life. much like 2 Cyclones. Cyclones are also the spice of life here in this game, and they're going to get a Marine. There we go, but Raven Harass is going to start earlier. Am I a Terran main Ponder SD2? No, I am not. As this Raven is just going to sit here for now. It keeps Marines in the main base, maybe. Maybe eventually it's going to find value. Do we see any deviation in Ravens? Yes, actually. Byun's going to go for a 3rd Raven. Normally you stop at 2. Now, 3rd Raven, it allows you to have this aggressive Raven on the other side. And also, as Cyclones are, they're going to look for the retreating Raven. Will be unsuccessful in that endeavor. Also gives you 2 defensively, or 2 aggressively, whatever you want. And theoretically, you do have 3. Depends on how you look to spend your energy. Raven now going home, as Gumiho did just miss it. Nice play. I mean, good idea from Gumiho, but it's not really going to work out for him all that well. And now we see Reaper Cyclone, or Reaper Hellion, excuse me, going on the bottom side. Ravens chasing Ravens. Who could have thought? Who could have thunk it? Yeah, but that can always come across as corn muscles. That can always come across as sarcastic. I mean, it's not what it was meant to be. It was maybe a little weird, but yeah, whatever. He also gave me an analogy that I went full into like dark matter, and you know, these players, matter, antimatter, they're going to explode into some awesome games. And it was clearly not what he was going for, and I'm like, oh. Man is not what Cosmos. Okay. But that's, you know, that's very much just chemistry and getting a good read of where your caster and your co-caster's preferred, I don't know, your preferred styles are, your preferred content. No, Naomi Gaddis, I'm not reading Joyce. Absolutely not. Joyce is not highly lyrical. Joyce is stream of consciousness and sanity. No, absolutely not. Eat, pray, love. There we go. Self-help book number 52. And now we got a push coming in from Gumiho. He's going to try to make something happen here. And the tanks of Byun, they're on the map, but they should be able to rotate home in time. Problem is, 3 Ravens, they're here. They can be aggressive. Oh, he's going to snipe Stim. Oh, Byun, you beautiful man. Is he going to see it, though? Does he actually? No, he's not going to snipe Stim. Okay, he has the opportunity. He says, I'd just rather kill workers. I'd rather kill tanks. Byun could snipe Stim. That would be so big, but he's not going to. He just wants to get tons of damage, and it's only commensurate damage because now the Marines, they're going to find this base, in fact, is going to burn down. I don't know how much you can do to yeah, you're not going to save that. So 3rd Command Center does fall. Gumiho just finding more value on the other side. Byun, yeah, he's got a lot of auto turrets. He's got Ravens, but this feels like it was a mistake. Byun did not expect the pressure out from Gumiho. And even still with all of that, I mean, he's still finding value, still killing workers. I feel like killing Stim is going to be far more impactful, especially in this game when you're up against the ropes like this. Far more impactful than killing 22 workers when you lose the Ravens. That will happen. Auto turret gets dropped here, but Tank doing a pretty good job of cleaning that one enough. Doesn't really get that much more. This feels bungled from Byun. And again, especially because you have lost all those Ravens, it means your aggressive potential is just in the dumpster. One Raven is going to try to escape, but Gumiho has it boxed in. And unlike Baby, Gumiho puts this one in the corner. Stim down 1-1 for Byun. So, I mean, man, imagine Byun gets Stim. His bio would be so much stronger for a damn long time. It would be so much stronger than what Gumiho has. The Vikings are going to lose a fight in the middle of the map. So, Byun doesn't really have much of an air fleet, doesn't really have much of an economy compared to what Gumiho has, but his bio is better. And his combat shields will be done soon, so maybe that's going to be something. Looking for a big surround here. Bio on the low ground, or Bio in the base. Again, looking to move around things. Byun, is he just going on a counterattack? That's kind of weird. Yeah, he's just going to move most of his bio on the other side. This is an odd TVT, folks. I mean, what it is doing in part is Byun abusing the fact that he's got 5 tanks. He's got 6 tanks. It's really hard for Gumiho to push in. So, oh, what a smart... Oh, I guess he saw the SCV. But what a smart read there. Really a smart read. I'm not sure what just died in the main base. Something red. Gumiho says, okay, Byun, I know that you're active. You don't have enough stuff here on the map for you to not be active on the map. So I'm just going to pull my command center in the main base. I don't want to lose it. And yeah, sure, it removes the mining a little bit. Naomi as a goddess. Exactly. That is 100% what that means. I have no desire to do that. Or portrait of an artist as a young man, or anything like that. And the bio here is going to drop out. It's still 1-1 versus 0-0, still combat shields versus none, but because the medevacs go down, it's not going to be the extremely positive trade that Byun may be looking for. But, oh wait, he's going to win the duel. So there's one Marine on 5 HP with 3 kills. He's going to have 4, he's going to have 5. He's having himself a really nice time here. Armor Shredder missiles invalidate a lot of the upgrades, but I think we saw medevac or Viking go down. Byun loses that part of his army, and this Marine, okay, it's finally dead. This Marine is finally dead. So Byun, despite the economic damage that he has undertaken, both from the triple Raven harass and the drop harass later on, still finds himself down by about 4 workers because he just has not been able to build 3 SCVs at a time. Crazy that. You lose a command center, you cannot build 3 SCVs at a time. Now this drop's going to show up, but the Vikings are here, and really it's not going to be able to get much done. In part because Gumiho very much recognizes that Byun's attempt, Byun's way back into this game, he's got to play on the edge of the map. He has to nickel and dime, push and pull, and just try to peel layers of skin away from Gumiho. Bio's going to stim in, but that's not really a fight that they want. You're medevacs, and there are no medevacs for Gumiho. So we've seen, I don't know, is the ping in the Korean server weird? We've just seen some interesting plays in Gumiho versus Estrella, now Gumiho versus Byun here, but also the other argument is players are stressing each other out so much that we'll see weird things. But now Byun with an aggressive position, he finds himself up 20 army supply all of a sudden. He's going to siege up here. Marines got to be careful at what they run through, but tanks, they fall pretty damn quickly. Don't target the tank. Byun, target the tank. You got to do it. Oh, but there we go. Tanks will end siege before they get disabled, so tanks do not fall. Byun did lose 1, but he traded 1 in the exchange. He's sitting up 20 supply, and it's going to struggle again to get a drop on the main base because the Vikings are just there on patrol. But what this has done, it's bought Byun an opportunity to get a 4th base. So yes, he lost his 3rd. It was unfortunate, but he is finding ways to get back into this game, find ways to find economic leads, and he has been trading better. He absolutely has been trading better over the course of the last... actually, never mind. No, he hasn't. I'm looking at supply, and I'm looking at upgrades, I'm looking at everything. I'm like, yeah, he's been trading better. Apparently not. But Byun is going to stim into this. Is this a fight that he wants? There are 3 tanks sieged up, but he's going to get on top of him pretty quickly. 1 goes down, 2 go down, 3 they fall as well. Byun's got 2-2 versus 1-1, so the bio of Gumiho absolutely paper. The Reaper's going to do what it can, but the Reaper, they say fear the Reaper man. Byun is not afraid of the Reaper man in this game. Vikings are going to go down on the backside, clearing up room for Byun to maybe drop later on. He's got a scary sieged up position. His 4th base is done and will be mining soon. His 3-3 is on the way. And somehow Byun has pulled this game back. Yeah, the Byun saw the Marines, so he lifted up. For a second, I didn't see that Gumiho had seen the Marines. Like, ooh, I thought that was an insane read from Gumiho, but even still, good call. This is not a good call. Don't go up the ramp into tanks. I understand that you want to kill tanks, but this is not the way you do it, bud. Bio streaming on 4 tanks. They're going to look to try to get sieged up, but Byun just has enough. He's going to punch right up through. 1 tank goes down. 2nd tank going to go down. No, it's not. Bio's too strong. Byun forced back. And there's a drop on the main base. We talked about those Vikings earlier going down, meaning that Byun could start his drop play, and that was absolutely correct. So 4 Marines, I mean, it's not the most insane thing. It's just a single drop. But it has gotten 7 workers, gotten 8 workers. It will not deny +2 armor, but we also got to remember Gumiho has forgotten the attack upgrades. He's pulling an inverse Byun. Byun loves to forget his armor. Oh, all the Marines die. Unfortunate. But pulling an inverse Byun. Byun loves to forget his armor. Gumiho forgotten his attack upgrades in the insanity of this game. So even as 3-3 finishes, it's still going to be a big window where Byun has 3-3 versus 2-2. And even as Gumiho's tier 3 upgrades finish, it's not going to be as good. All right, so bio on the north side now. Oh, Byun's going to get a couple Vikings. That's always nice. Again, his game plan, the way he plays TVT, is so predicated on being able to be aggressive and be able to maneuver around the map and drop play all of these things, that anything he can do to knock down Vikings is absolutely fantastic, and Gumiho has done. Gumiho has no Vikings on the map. His drop defense is now missile turrets. Should I say auto turrets? What is the difference between an auto missile turret and an auto turret and a missile turret? No one knows. Huh. Interesting scan there. I guess Byun may be thinking that his opponent was going to go for some big drop, and he's like, I smell something. And it would have been a 6 scan if he just randomly scanned out the drop, but no, the army's on the bottom side. Byun absolutely can rotate over to deal with this again. He's a 2 upgrade lead, so his bio much, much better. Gumiho is on the north side, though, now. And he does have a market interest in knocking this command center down. Byun, no, he hasn't sniffed it out. I was going to say, for a second, it looks kind of like he sniffed it out, but this is just going to be a forced cancel here, or a kill, actually. Yeah, Byun cancels it last second. Byun going to have to rotate over because, while this is a planetary, it only does so much of a... there we go. Sentry tower goes down. Oh, is today Byun's birthday, Kenny Tennyson? All I know. Wait, is today Roddy's birthday too? Wait, so Zombie Grove's birthday was like 2 days ago. Bio stims in. That's a big tank line, but there's absolutely nothing defending it, so it's just all dead. That's a problem. We have 7. Somehow, we still have 7 tanks for Gumiho because, hey, you know what? Late game TVT, you build a lot of tanks. 2 factory tank is a good thing. Tank's now going to siege it up. 1 goes down, 2 go down, but that's going to be that. It explodes here. And still a nice trade, but now on the backside, Gumiho looking for the flank on every side of the tanks. They're sieged up. They're getting massive shots with the bio. Unending streams of it going forward. And this army from Byun gets cleaned up. Expensive trades, to be sure, from Gumiho, but it does get cleaned up. He will not lose his 4th base. His economy is allowed to continue apace. And that was a lot of tanks going down. Byun now takes the tank deficit. But he is aware of the army, as he does still have the superior attack upgrade. His bio dies just a little bit slower. And the best part about having a Liquipedia page now, that has my birthday on it, is I know that on June 5th, I will get someone tweeting, I will get the StarCraft birthday Twitter tweeting about my birthday. Is a nice little, oh, he's going to get 2, he's not. Nice little stim in there, a couple Marines for a tank, absolutely, you take it. And you know, I was kind of sad. In game, in the Restrea series, we didn't get one of those long, epic, drag them out back and forth games, but Byun is giving it to us here. Gumiho is giving it to us here in this TVT, and part of it sure is the map. Part of it is hardwire, and it's hard to kill your opponent, etc., etc., etc. Even with the advantage that Byun has, you can stim on in. That feels a little suspect there, Byun. You will get 2 tanks, but that's a lot of bio going down, and I'm not sure it will really matter, but it is a negative trade. Of course, Byun, though, he's managed to force his opponent's entire army, less a couple defensive tanks, over to the west side. And yeah, bio without medevacs doesn't mean he's actually going to be able to trade rather well, but that is a lot of tanks. Byun had a big tank lead. He doesn't really anymore, so the tanks siege up on the high ground, but Byun did have first movers advantage, first siegers advantage, I guess. So he's going to be able to knock a lot of them down. Bio probably wants to, I know it's going to be Vikings that I think are going to kill this one off. Supplies to equalize once again. The army of Gumiho is going to rotate on over the left side. That's a lot of red bio, and tank shots are going to kill things, but not all that quickly. And we got to notice, by the way, medevacs fall, that this is a game where no one has committed for mech upgrades. All right, we have no +1 ground, no +2 ground, nothing like that. And it means that really the story of the bio is the only story that matters in this game in a rather interesting fashion. Yeah, tanks are important, tanks are powerful, but not nearly as dominant a force as they would otherwise be. As this drop will get cleaned on up now. Byun preemptively stims, but the bio's behind the tank, so it's not really going to get that much done. It gets out, though. Medevacs as well. True it is. Mother's Day for 3 minutes. Happy Mother's Day, everyone. Happy birthday, Naomi's a goddess. Unless you were born on a different Mother's Day. Oh, okay. Shows how much I know. And then, like, different countries have different Mother's Days, too. But anyway, Biostim's in, and they're going to try to get some tanks before things happen. Byun, he's not really targeting it down all that well. I don't know what it is, but this is a big surround. Gumiho, we sweeps him from the map. Even with the upgrade, disadvantage does not seem to matter because Byun is just not getting those oppressive sieges, those wonderful positions that he is really looking for. So even as Gumiho is losing economy in space, he's only on 48 workers. Even as he is down upgrades, the army supply is the scary thing, and he's up 40 army supply. This is, and more importantly, he's up 40 army supply, and Byun is just not here. Byun's army is on the other side of the map. Yeah, he's got some at home, but Gumiho is probably up 60, 70 army supply through the middle of the map here. Byun stims forward. He's looking to try to just give some impression of strength, but I don't really know how strong that impression is. SCVs get pulled to defend, and planetaries, yeah, they do splash damage. Byun, again, with the better Marines, he's gonna be okay to start, and actually, that's a fantastic trade. He equalizes 20 supply in the blink of an eye. His army rotating home, maybe looking for something. Liberator is killing a ton of SCVs. This planetary may eventually fall. Byun kind of sieging, unsieging. Repairing, unrepairing to make sure that he doesn't lose too many SCVs in the process. And now Liberator is sieging up. There's not a lot of anti-air here, actually, so tanks are going to start to go down, and this is Byun's opportunity, flanking in from every side. Hot pickups are going to be there. Medevacs getting targeted down, but Byun not getting on top of them just yet. It's just Marines that fall, and now the bio-stimming on. This is where the advantage that they really matter. The upgrades are so powerful, and Byun out of the lion's den. He takes game one. In the bottom left here, in the gold, is up 1. For the Shopify Rebellion, you may have heard of him. His name is Byun. In the upper right, in the red, he's down 1 game. He had every opportunity, but it slips through his fingertips. He is Gumiho. NASA orangutan, exactly. That was, I mean, it was really hard to tell. Byun gets 22 workers, but he loses a bunch of his own. He loses his third base. But he gets a big upgrade lead. Oh, you do? Now I need to go to Google Naomi is a goddess on Wikipedia. I don't got it. A wee amateur player. Wee all the way home. Now, actually, a question for you folks. We're gonna stutter and stumble our way into an actual cogent point. But did y'all see the this Reddit post, the tweet by Milo on Fire this morning? Oh, deity, that rings a vague bell. Were you on Sloth Esports at one point? No. Playing in the Banshees. Are the Banshees still around? Do they still do stuff? I know Zombie Grub did things for them for a while. But anyway, I don't know if anyone saw Milo on Fire's tweet, the StarCraft Reddit post, but ESL, as of this morning, made a bunch of edits to 6 TLMC maps. And they put them all up as official ESL versions on the map browser. Which is exciting for me, because that sounds to me like we're getting 6 new maps. And please, actually the ideal, I think, is they add 6 maps, they take away 4, so we go to a 9-map pool. And I've been talking about it. 9-map pool is really the way to go, as this Reaper doesn't find much, but naturally it's going to delay the command center just a little bit, which is fine. I mean, it's something. There we go. He is dead. But hey, you'll take that. Delay your command center for just a little bit. Yeah, you know, Kenny Tennyson, I'm surprised as well. Especially after the insanity that Gumiho showed us in the Estrella series. But I also do find interesting, Byun actually opening up with a Widow Mine. Which you might ask yourself, okay, why would you do that? It's not like Widow Mines insta-give a lot of things in TVT. but realistically, Widowmine's actually fairly good. They disable a lot of these Hellion Reaper techs in the early game. Now, we have, of course, Byun. He's got his kitchen sink drop. This is 4 Marines, 2 Reapers, and a Hellion, because why not? This is a common thing. We see this in TVT rather often, but it continues to make me pretty happy. All right, the whole, I have like a smattering of units. I built a medevac. Let me see if I can get anything done with it. It's something that I really attribute to Clem. But Byun is absolutely going for it in this game. As we have every defensive utility on the other side of the map. Actually, he made 3 Cyclones. Interesting. So that means the Hellion will go down. Cyclones on the other side are going to know that, wait a minute, maybe we can get something here. But of course, this Cyclone is going to get targeted down. It's not really going to see much of anything happen. Reaper falls, but we should see some SCVs die. There we go. This drop is eventually getting cleaned up before workers go down, and that's going to be about that. But Hellion, the natural Widowmine, it does damage. But this is like one of those few exceptions to the whole, Widowmines invalidate early aggression, because Cyclones really don't care about them at all. All right, so there's actually a lot of... This is difficult for Byun to dislodge for quite a while, but now Cyclone's going to get positive lock-ons, and that really should be that, especially with the tank sieging up. And the Reaper to flank. There we go. I guess I was thinking of a different player. Does the Banshee organization exist, though, Naomi, as a goddess? I'd like they moved on to other games. Or is it just totally done? Glad you're here regardless. So Reaper's gonna find a Cyclone and give its life for the cause, but that's fine. It's nice. It says, okay, that's where the Cyclone are. So Raven goes back. He's like, oh, nope, don't want to do it. No, don't want to do that one. So the powerful play goes on. Really, pretty uninteractive. I mean, I don't think that's fair because we had dropped from Byun and that Cyclone pressure, but they really did balance each other out. Thor 969 asking the questions that you think are just innocent. And then you realize what he's doing is fishing for information to update your Liquipedia page. We know how it works. We know the drill. So anyways, yeah. So, hey, look, Naomi's a goddess. Deity, you're excited. Gumiho is playing Mech in this game number 2, and it is Glittering Ashes. It makes sense. It's a rather good Mech map just because of how expansive it is. It's not, say, a Hardwire or something like that where you have all those really beautiful chokes, but the concept of Mech and TVT is a little different than, say, TVZ in terms of what you're looking for. Just because of how things work. I mean, you do still want the chokes, don't get me wrong. But anyway, Byun taking his third base now. Gumiho, again, he found himself a nice little bit of an advantage by building his command center on the low ground. It meant his orbital is a little bit faster. It meant he's able to drop 3 mules at a time, and we should see that ego spike for him just a little bit. And the question is, how long until Byun realizes that this is Mech play? Now, Triple Cyclone by itself may be a tell, but not the oddest thing, especially if you're worried about early harass. So we're going to have to see. For now, Gumiho is sending a couple of Marines out on the other side of the map because he really doesn't care about them anymore. They're kind of useless. But Byun really doesn't know. He's not the one factory. That was about it. Because, of course, the moment you understand that this is Mech play, you're going to start expanding everywhere. You're going to start building tech labs on your barracks. You're building Marauders. You're doing all of these things that really allow you to counter the Mech play appropriately. Now, of course, okay, there's the 311. Double barracks to the natural. Interesting. I guess that is just to prevent a free scout scan on what exactly Byun is going for. But there was also a tech lab on the barracks, so it really doesn't prevent all that much. You know what Byun's doing. It's just more of a question of how many barracks are there. How aggressive does Byun choose to be? Is this a 5 racks all in? No. 5 racks all ins in TVT are pretty abysmal. Gonna put it that way. The 1-1 on the way for Gumiho, safely on 3 bases. He's got 6 gas, makes him very happy. And in fact, he's gonna have his 4th base ahead of Byun. And considering the fact that, again, this is Mech versus Bio, I'm liking that for the Terran a lot. You hit critical mass, you hit 2-2, you run across the map, you max out, you get a lot of tanks, and it becomes very difficult for your opponent to deal with. And again, especially because Byun's the one that should have map control right now. Oh, it was just tournament? I didn't realize Zombie Grub organized. I thought she was just part of it. I could have sworn it was a whole organization. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's dead now. It's dead now. Mech hype indeed. Okay, now Byun rallying across the map here. Now, the one thing I do like, I mean, he doesn't really need medevacs right now. He just has this really strong army. Tons of Vikings, tons of tanks. But there's this game. He's like, ooh, that is a lot of tanks. And he runs back home. He's like, nope. I was scanned out. I see how many tanks you have. Time for me to rotate back. I understand that I need to reposition how I'm going to choose to play this game. So, 4th base on the way, but we really want to see a 5th base pretty soon. A 2nd factory as well for Byun. So, there is that. And it looks like he still is. Oh, okay. Were there tech labs? Yes, good. Tech labs on these additional barracks. Byun has figured it out. Now we're going to see some Hellions go down to Marines, which, hey, you know what? Bonus damage to light. So what? Not enough of them there. Oh, that's unfortunate, Naomi's a goddess. Kind of dumb. I mean, it doesn't surprise me, given the internet. That is rather unfortunate. Is these Blue Flame Hellions, they're going to meet their maker. Actually, they're not, because Gumiho's their maker, and if they don't get back home, they will never be able to meet him again. Horrendous jokes aside, we got Byun again trying to be aggressive here. The Hellion run-bys are really not getting much of anything. But again, so Byun, he started his anti-mech, right? Marauders are going to get made. Eventually, we will see concussive shells as well. But the big deal is we're not really seeing that advancement into a 5th base, which he should be able to do, because there is absolutely no map control that Gumiho has right now. He sends Hellions out occasionally, but that's it. But Byun's going the other way. Instead of mass bases start to trade, he understands that this is glittering ashes, and getting into your opponent's core 4, nigh impossible, especially against a mech player. So instead of doing that, instead of really trying to be aggressive and take all these bases, he says, let me go and advance to my next level of tech. Fusion core going down, additional starports, heavy into Viking count. And I wouldn't even be surprised to see him go, yeah, there we go, 2nd armory going down. So we're going to see 1-1 air. And Byun is heavily going to lean into winning that air battle, killing off the Vikings, because technically he should have a better economy, and certainly he has more gas at his what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Certainly has more gas at his disposal. Okay, 2-2 just about done, really, for both players. In fact, Mech player's going to have it first. A bunch of these Hellions will go down, and the resources lost. Byun's been trading more efficiently, which is weird if you look at a Mech player, but he also got to consider not a lot has happened this game, really. It's been 2 players posturing and trying to figure out how they're going to break through. And that is the glory and also the terror of Glittering Ashes. Also, we got to point out, Byun is on 4 orbitals, because I guess he figured out that this was a Mech player before he built his orbital, so he's gonna be pretty happy about that one. Again, 4 wheels instead of 3 is nice. More scans are always going to be tasty. We also got to be careful sharking around the low ground here. I mean, that's a lot of tanks. Okay, there we go. 1-1 for the Vikings on the way. Armor Shredder missile catches half of them. And the Viking lead looks like it, squarely goes in the favor of Gumiho. So Byun actually has to trade money out. He has to trade his army out to be able to take that Viking lead. He's building 5 at a time. But it still is unfortunate. Tanks are going to siege up here. And of course, the tanks of Gumiho are better. But Byun will win that trade anyways, because he had the first shot off. Better scans. And now Byun finally exploding his orbital, his planetary count, as well as in fact, he's building a bunch of missile turrets. Interesting. I like that move. Is he going for a big surround here? Kind of hard to get up on the high ground, and certainly he will force this 5th base from, well, I guess 6th base from Gumiho back? Yeah. 6th base from Gumiho back. This is a weird contain. I mean, this is like a middle of the map contain here. Sensor towers, missile turrets. Kind of cool. Okay, we got the fight kicking off here. Oh, wait, Byun takes a really good one here. Missile turrets goes down, or excuse me, auto turrets, they go down pretty quickly. But it's not going to work out all the well. But Gumiho on the backside, he's got Thors. They're in high-impact payload mode, sure, so they're not really going to take the best thing, but it's still going to be fine. Ravens will start to go down here. Byun looks for the drop on the tanks, but unsuccessful in that endeavor. And adding on these Thors really does complicate the Viking war to a tremendous extent. Byun doesn't really have much that gets on top of these Vikings with how many tanks Gumiho has defensively. It's not like he can just stim a bunch of Marauders and go to town. So tanks are going to siege up. This is going to be a dead planetary really quickly. 2-2 tanks. They shred things. So dead base. Byun wasn't really mining from it anyways, but still, it puts him down 2 bases on a meching Terran, and that one's going to go... You could have lifted that one, but I guess Vikings say it's not really worth it. And this sieged up position, this hard contain on Byun's side of the map that Byun has built, it's kind of, it's not really all that useful anymore because he's not really defending the side. And it just feels like Byun is struggling to find the positioning that he's looking for in this game, really. Yeah, he's not going to get a tank shot there. And Byun going for Caduceus Reactor. I think that's what that's called, right? I don't have... Rapid Reignition System, never mind. I think at one point it was Caduceus something. Or Caduceus, if we're going to be fully Latin. But anyway, his medevacs are going to boost longer and further. That's kind of cool. Not an upgrade we see at all. I think we have... We don't have Corvid reactors, but we do have medevac upgrades. That seems weird. Raven is the ultimate late game of any TVT, regardless of whether it is mech or bio. So seeing Byun refuse to go in that direction is interesting. But still, I mean, this does allow him to have more pressure on the map, more drop pressure, things like that. As tanks are going to get sieged up, but Liberators do not want to take this fight. They run away. There are too many Vikings. And Gumiho, like an octopus, is just swallowing this map whole, but Byun finally feels like he's found maybe an inside track into the nether regions, into the guts of this situation that Gumiho has built for himself, but he's not really going to be all that successful in that endeavor. Now, dropping behind the tank line, that's going to be rather nice. So one tank goes down pretty quickly. Marauders, of course, pretty good at that one, but finally, ever so finally, we have a couple tanks fighting SCVs. That's interesting. Ever so finally, though, we do have the push here from Gumiho. We're going to see Liberators siege everything up, but I mean, oh, actually, Viking count here, 15 to 13. Superior upgrades for kind of equal upgrades, really, for the Vikings of Byun. He's still got a supply lead, and if he's able to knock these Vikings down, it's going to be very good for him. He actually gets a base. He gets 2 orbitals here. That's going to be massive. A bunch of workers go down here as well. And this is on the center of production for Byun, so he technically is going to be able to win the Viking fight eventually, maybe, but it's still 13 Vikings to 4, so I'm not really confident in that endeavor. Looks like the tanks went down on the bottom side. Byun, his run by is not really getting damage to the similar extent. Not really. And Byun needs to bring his army together. I don't know where his army is. I don't know that he really has one. He's down 40 supply. The tanks are too powerful. Thors are just adding so much damage to this Viking war here. But again, it will be 2-2 Vikings rather soon versus 0-3. So there is an upgrade lead there from Byun. I don't know that it makes up for 12 Vikings to 4 necessarily, but it is something as Byun loses more bases. So he goes on full-on counterattack mode. He says, look, if I can't take a fight at home, time for me to take a fight on the other side of the map here. That sounds like a good idea. That sounds like fun. So he will find bases, and Marauders with 3-3, they do kill even upgraded buildings, and building upgrades are halfway done. That's like auto tracking, but not building armor. So that's going to be a dead base. Liberator sieges up here as well, but I mean, I feel like Byun has just lost so much more. He is a 3-base Terran at the end of the day, and he's got to find... I mean, breaking these planetaries, especially now that building armor is done, it feels like an impossibility. It really, before the rally of Gumiho completes, before he rebuilds an army, it really does just not feel possible. Although he will take a positive Viking trade, and that is always going to be nice, but Byun, you got to kill the Vikings. There we go. So despite having inferior Viking numbers, he should win this trade, I think. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah. So Liberator's sieging up, but again, it's just this game of Byun does not have enough. He's lost 49 workers. His economy in shambles. He's within 20 army supply, but if we look at army value, I mean, it's not even close. Twice the gas, twice the minerals from Gumiho. Byun has to hit the most insane surround to do what he wants to do in this game. And it's glittering ashes. That's really hard to do. But, oh, the tanks are on siege right now. Byun maybe has an opportunity here. We're going to see tanks start to fall pretty quickly. But half the bio, they're killing Hellions. That's not what you want. Not what you want at all. But he's going to find another position on the high ground where the tanks are not. And at this point, though, BCs are doing a really good job knocking down the Marines. There's just not enough anti-air anymore. Byun is down 60 supply. Folks, Gumiho, he's made it happen. He's mech'd it happen. Byun just not able to be proactive enough on the map in game number 2. And sure, there's a bunch of Marauders, a bunch of tanks on the low ground, on the ground in general, but does it really matter? And no, it does not. Byun, he taps out. We're tied up in this series. We're going to game 3. In the upper right, in the gold, taking a mech game, game 2, he is Gumiho. His opponent at the bottom left, in the blue, the birthday boy, is Byun. Two ways to look at this. Either Byun needs to win this because he wants the $200 that first place provides, and well, the $200 the first place provides to go fuel his partying later on. Or he's already late to his own party. Who's going to win right now? He's going to follow. I don't know. There's a storyline that we can weave throughout this. I'm such a... Hey, Naomi is a goddess. Again, Stream Elements, I guess the Twitch API is responding pretty slow this evening. But thank you so much for the sub. We'll get the notification eventually. I am such a fan of the GG emote I had made. Like, the one I had before was really generic. Just GG in red and gold and just... ugh. But a robot holding up a sign saying GG, big fan of that. Big fan. It's the best thing. Literally the best thing. In fact, all the emotes that I have one more outstanding that is most likely going to be Frodo in a caster helmet, because there's a critical mass of people watching me where people start talking about how much I look like Frodo. There we go. There's the notification. Anyway. Critical mass of people that watch Bayo on ESL or King of Battles or even my own stream if I happen to get a really good match, where they say, oh, look, the caster just looks like Frodo. We're not going to talk about the game caster looks like Frodo. So we need to fuel it. Fuel the memes as the Reaper on the high ground. Despite the SCV buffering, Byun wins this fight, and he's going to get the Reaper, and he's going to find himself on the other side. That means this SCV is going to die here as well. Nice micro, nice high ground abuse from Byun. It's already off to a damn fine start. Marauder just need to get on their back to shoot up. Yes, sir, it's an old meme, but it does check out. I'm telling you, though, Thorn, you know what really needs to be able to shoot up? Disruptors. They need to be able to levitate. I mean, it's just this big ball of energy. Why does it have to stay on the ground? It should be able to... I mean, it's clearly levitating anyways. It should be able to levitate higher. Okay, not gonna lie, that would be hilarious. Also broken as hell. Like, imagine what they would do to Corruptors, for example, or BCs, or any armored unit. Marauders as a counter to Void Rays because they sit on little static defense ramps that allows them to shoot up. Please. We need this. We need the memes. We absolutely do need the dreams. Now the Reaper in the main base, the Reaper that already has a kill or two to his name because he killed an SCV and he killed another Reaper. So he is the superior of his kind. He's going to get another one. No, he's not. He tried. Unfortunately, the Reaper's super secret special agent training don't really matter when an army comes running at him. It's like one of the, it's like, you know, the Indiana Jones movie. Right, or Ajax. I don't think there's anyone in StarCraft that shares a birthday with me. It's unfortunate. SBN now going to find the Reaper just trading themselves back and forth. I mean, I would imagine they would, Thorn 969. Yes, NASA Orangutan. So there will be a Frodocaster emote for people to spam, and like specifically in ESL chats and things. Now what you got to do is go pull up the Albatross X3 tweet about it. Actually, there have been multiple tweets about it and a Reddit thread. So, I mean, at this point, if you're missing out on that, it is on you. As Byun's Hellions are really not going to find much of anything. Banshee is going to show up, but folks, there is no cloak. So with the Cyclone here, it's really not going to find much. Gumiho, though, he's been leaning into the greed. Never challenged him, Byun Reaper, indeed. He's been leading into the greed. It's been worked out for him before. Raven auto turret. Did it get anything? Let me click on that. Thank you. Yeah, I got 1 kill. Okay, that's something. But not really getting all that much damage done. This one will be no different. Hellions, though, die. Oh, yeah. Hey, they're going to deny the third base. And we talk about Gumiho leading into greed. It worked out for him in game 2. He went mech. It was great. He killed it. How many gas do we have? 3 gas. So this is not going to be mech, I don't think, in this game. No, it's 5:30. Yeah, definitely not mech. But anyways, part of that greed, part of the reason mech was so successful is A, he was able to hide it long enough beyond just not scouting well, but also because he got his third base much faster, and he was dropping triple mules much faster. His fourth base was done before Byun's, and it's tempting to say, well, mech is just really strong. Not really. I mean, it can be. Clem played a banger of a 45-minute TVT versus Cure. Mech versus Bio. As a kind of a surprise build to Cure, but it's not that mech is good or not good. It's just more of like in last game, if you're allowed to be as greedy as Gumiho is, if your 2-2 finishes as the mech player before the bio player finishes 2-2, and you're just up on bases, pretty up or even on bases the entire game, that is not how you want to play that. That is not how you want to play a game of StarCraft. But I stand corrected. Despite the late 4th gas, and despite the late 4th gas, this will be mech. Double factory on the way from Gumiho. He says, look, if it ain't broke, why fix it? Yeah, no, Thor969. I like Beowulf. I'm not changing my name to Frodo. Not happening. The Banshee is going to try to reaggress, find some damage in the main base. Once again, will be unsuccessful because Cyclones are here, and the Ravens in the natural, though. That's a little bit more promising. Auto turrets get dropped down, but Byun, he's on top of it. He's fine. And the army's going to rotate back. Vikings should shoot this Raven down, and that will be that. Oh, it's not even going to get a second auto turret. So Raven is going to get low, but not die. Okay. Almost bad Cyclone. Oh, not even Cyclone. Pistol turret in a well-placed position will ward off this Banshee as well. So Byun is just buttoned up tighter than my coat in January 1st when it was really cold. Really, the question again, does Byun know that this is mech? I don't know that he does. He did see 4 gas, but he saw 4 gas at the timing where it's like, okay, it makes sense that this is 4 gas. So Byun needs to find a way to get active on the map. He needs to find a way to, again, understand that this is mech play and adapt to it faster. Find more value, get his drops off better, because a Gumiho that is allowed to just expand and play mech and have a good time is a Gumiho that wins this series. And you and I both know we want Byun to win the series. He's the birthday boy. Actually, all that bias. I just won good games of StarCraft. But okay, this scan says that's a lot of Vikings, that's a lot of tanks. This should really be the tell here. As, Cyclones are going to find really not much of anything. Byun trying to find that vulnerable position between the natural and the third base. Said, look, I don't want you to get here anymore. Auto turrets getting dropped to fight the Vikings. And that's going to be nice. Bio, though, they can't get too close because the tanks are sieged up. So instead they say, let me stim into the natural. Nowhere for the SCVs to run one way or the other. They will all fall down. The single G, Byun, he eviscerates Gumiho in game 3. He cuts out his insides and he moves on to the semifinals.